and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Heavy Metal Music Theory. Sorry you had to hear me sing there. I love that part. So we're doing the Beatles, A Day in the Life. And I'm going to do two parts. I'm going to analyze the part I just played. I'm also going to analyze the beginning. So we are loosely rooted here in the key of G major. The G major chord starts us off. The next chord is a D/F sharp. Now the D chord is the 5 chord in G. The F sharp is the third of the chord, and the reason for the slash is because they wanted that F sharp as the bass note. And the reason for that is, not only does it sound cool on its own, right? Not only does that sound awesome, but it creates a little bit of a walking bass line because the next chord in line is the E minor, which is the 6th chord in the key of G. So we're getting a G to an F sharp to an E. So we get a little bit of a scale walk down, okay? The following chord is a C chord, which in the key of G is the 4, followed by another C chord with a B in the bass. Now that typically doesn't sound too well on its own. It's kind of like an inverted major 7 in a way, but in the course of this progression, it works very well. The next chord involved here is the A minor 7, which is the 2 chord in G, followed by the G, the 1 chord, and then we're up to the 3 chord, which is B minor, and then we end the progression on an E minor. Now, not only are B minor and E minor both in the key of G, the B minor being the 3rd, the E minor being the 6th, but in the key of E natural minor, which is the relative minor of G major, the B minor is actually the 5. So we're actually getting a minor 5-1 at the end of that. And of course, you could call that a minor 5 of 6, I suppose, right? If you really wanted to get fancy. So that's the main gist of the verse. Now, as far as the section I played at the beginning with the lovely singing, I just want to go through the first 4 chords. I want to tell you what they are, tell you how they function, and tell you why they chose to do that. The chords go from C major to G major, and then they go from D major to A major. Now, you're going to notice that none of those chords are minor, none of those chords are dominant, none of those chords are diminished. There's no sus, there's no fancy color to these chords. They're simply just 3-note major triads. And you have to wonder how this works, right? If we're not fitting into a diatonic scale, how does the ear accept such chords, right? If we're going to look at the G, which is up on screen, as the 1 chord, then the C is the 4 chord, right? So we have a 4-1 in the key of G, and then we have a 4-1 with the D to the A, right? So now you could also look at it, before I get any people saying, you could also look at it as a 1-5 in C and a 1-5 in D. But I feel like it sounds better if I think of it as a 4-1, which it's a resolution not quite as strong as the 5 chord, but it's still a resolution. So the reason this works is because the ear is picking up on the intervallic distance between those chords. Whether those chords are from the same key or not, the ear is picking up on the intervallic distance, the distance of a 4th, right? From C to G is a 4th, and then from the D to the A is also a 4th. So both 2 chord progressions are completing the same movement intervallically, which therefore is creating the same sound, just a different key, right? So your ear picks up on that, and it goes, oh, wow, I can find form and function to this. And, of course, the singing over the top of that is absolutely chilling. I love it. In fact, I want to give a shout out to Chris Cornell's version of A Day in the Life by the Beatles. If anybody's a Chris Cornell fan and they have not heard him cover this tune, let me make your day by saying, go find it, look it up on YouTube. Chris Cornell, A Day in the Life, acoustic, friggin' amazing. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a request in the comments for stuff that you'd like me to look at, and we'll go from there. Have a great day. Bye.